And today, this is going to be an incredible discussions on art by regions and religions. And now, we will focus on the topic, Buddhist art. So what is Buddhist art? And where do it came from? It has been created over 2 millennia across India, China, Japan, and throughout Asia, and takes some distinctive forms in various regions. It was created to guide followers of the Buddha, known as the Awakened One. Buddhist art isn't just a picture of anything. It's active art designed to reflect and project a certain mental state. And these works are meant to change the mind from a state of obsession to one of friendliness. Early Buddhist art emerged in India and Sri Lanka, following the death of Gautama Buddha. Around the 1st century CE, following the Greek invasion of northwestern India and Buddhist contact with Hellenistic culture in the Indo-Greek kingdoms, an iconic period of Buddhist art began to flourish in India. The growth of Buddhist art in turn influenced the development of Hindu art, until Buddhism virtually disappeared in India around the 10th century, due in part to the vigorous expansion of both Islam and Hinduism. From its original homeland of India, Buddhist art was transported to other parts of Asia and the world, adapting to local styles and norms in each new host country. Today, Buddhist art constitutes an important part of overall Buddhist cultural legacy. So Tibet, Bhutan, China, Korea, and Japan, they are the countries who prevailed Mahaya Buddhism. And Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam, they prevailed Theravada Buddhism. As Buddhism expanded outside of India from the 1st century, its original artistic package blended with other artistic influences, leading to a progressive differentiation among the countries adopting the faith. Now, let's talk about its distinct features and purposes. Buddhist art exhibits distinctive forms and characteristics, reflecting the diverse cultures and countries in which it has spread. It was characterized from the start by a realistic idealism, combining realistic human features, proportions, attitudes, and attributes. The first is called Ushnisha. It is one of the 32 marks of a great being, and it is the cranial bump of Buddha, and it represents his superior wisdom. Second one is called Urna. It is the dot on Buddha's forehead. It is thought to have been a tuft of hair or a third eye, and it represents inner vision and the power to illuminate the world with his teaching. Third one is ears. Buddha is depicted with elongated earlobes, and this reflects the fact that he was a prince before becoming a Buddha, and therefore was adorned with jewelry as was custom for the time. The ears can also symbolize Buddha's ability to hear the cries of suffering humanity. The fourth one is Buddha's feet. Buddha was said to be able to walk immediately after birth. Imprinted on his feet were spoke wheels, and in his footsteps, lotus flowers blossomed. The fifth one is called swastika. Today, swastika represents the Nazi Party. However, it is an ancient symbol that stands for peace. It was said to have adorned Buddha's body and can often be seen on his feet, hands, and chest. The sixth one is called wheel. The wheel of the law or Dharmacharaka represents the teachings of Buddha. Buddha was said to have been imprinted with wheels on his hands and feet. The seventh one is called mudras. Mudras are the various hand poses seen on images of Buddha around the world. Each mudra conveys a unique message and meaning. And here are the different types of mudras. The first one is called Dharma Chakra. Dharma Chakra represents the Buddha's first sermon, while Virtaka Mudra, this one-handed gesture, represents the Buddha talking, debating, and teaching. The next are called Virada Mudra and Bumisvarsha Mudra. Virada Mudra is the gesture of gift-giving or bestowal, while Bumisvarsha Mudra is the gesture of earth witness, which the Buddha is said to have made at the time of his enlightenment. And lastly, the Dhyana Mudra that represents the gesture of meditation, and Abhaya Mudra represents spiritual power. And now let's talk about the famous artworks of Buddhist art. The first artwork is called Thangka of Shakyamuni Buddha. Thangka is Tibetan Buddhist painting on cotton, silk applique, and usually depicting a Buddhist deity, scene, or mandala. The artist uses a perfect circle that makes it have a symmetrical balance that gives the painting a sense of calm, stability, and formality as well, and the negative space also conveys the same thing. Emphasis is represented as well. A small circle in the head part of the Buddha stresses a certain area in an artwork to create an area of composition that is visually dominant and commands the viewer's attention. And the next artwork is called Mandala of Jainana Dakini. A mandala is a geometric configuration of symbols. In various spiritual traditions, mandalas may be employed for focusing attention of practitioners and adepts, as a spiritual guidance tool for establishing a sacred space, and as an aid to meditation and trance induction. The very first thing we can notice in the painting is the rhythm and the unity of the patterns. The spaces that was used by the artist between repeating elements caused a rhythm to form. Due to the fact that rhythm is one of the most visible principles of design in a mandala art, and the unity is visible as well as the colors that has been used are close to one another in terms of hue or chroma, and the recurring shades and the texture mimic one another, and that makes it to be a symmetrical painting. The wholeness and oneness is achieved by a proper use of art elements and art principles. And the last artwork is called Buddha Amughasiddhi with 8 Bodhisattvas. The most visible principle in this artwork is used of elements that are similar in character and have some feature in common, that is known proportion. It as well plays the use of colors that made the Buddha Amughasiddhi among the 8 Bodhisattvas. It could be an emphasis as well, because he has been colored in a different shade. And that ends the discussion of Buddhist art. Thank you so much for listening.